show, podcast. Just a little something I do for fun. And thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to get right into it a little bit here. I think sometimes, I'm really excited about everything. I'm really excited about, like, the way things are going a little bit sometimes. But then also sometimes I just get sad, man. I just get really sad. And I don't even, I got some things to be sad about, but I don't have, like, things to be sad about that a lot of people out there have to be sad about. There's a lot of really, like, crazy things going on in a lot of people's lives out there. And I think sometimes we forget that when we focus on our own problems. Not to minimize our own issues, but to just sometimes maybe think a little bit less about yourself and a little bit more about somebody else. And maybe that's kind of what I'm trying to do a little bit here. I think I'm trying to change myself a little bit in a sense that, I just want to be better. I just want to be better to people. I never thought I was, like, terrible to people. In some ways, I was, like, not a great person. I'm not proud of, and we all kind of have those moments. But I think that, I just want to be better to people. I think maybe a lot of people that were very important to me, maybe I wasn't as good as I could have been to them. And that's just what I want to be, is I want to be good to them. And everyone, why not? Why not, just be good with everybody? Dang, dude, yeah, I don't know. I just get sad sometimes, it just washes over you. No matter how much you try to stay positive, sometimes you just get a little sad about situations. But yeah, man, it's cool, I get through it, chug through like a train, and that's what we all do a little bit. I think sometimes we just get a little bit down, but we got to learn to chug through it. Excuse me. That was probably on the microphone, that burp, and that's unpleasant, and that's rude. I'm sorry. But onward. And I got a lot I can be happy about, too. I got a lot I can be happy about. I ain't got a whole lot to be mad about. Not a whole lot. I got a job. I've got beautiful kids. I've got, relationships that I cherish. Maybe some of them could be a little better than than they currently are. Maybe I would like some things to be different. But, I just got a lot to be happy about. I do things that I like to do. I have a hobby a little bit. I play guitar. I screw around. I suck, but I screw around and I have fun, and it kind of allows me to like release a little bit. It's almost like talking to somebody. It's almost like doing the podcast. It's almost like sitting here talking to you guys. It's almost like talking to you guys, because I get to where you just get in a zone and you can just, you just kind of like go. You ever like rode your bike across town as a kid, and like once you got like, 3/4 of the way, you just felt like you could go ahead and just ride to the next town? You feel like you could just ride to the next town because your legs didn't even matter no more. You just had energy that wouldn't quit. That's how sometimes I feel. And I don't know, when I was a kid, they tried to say it was like ADD, and they put me on pills. And I didn't like pills. I don't like medicine like that. I think people need to be themselves a little bit. And I think, when you go to putting your kids on like, Ritalin and Adderall and like, all those like, things. And then when you're an adult, and maybe on the other side of it, when you're a parent and you're a little bit stressed out because, you can't handle your kids, and maybe you can't handle, maybe you weren't ready for kids, and like you're just like some like overwhelmed mom who hates her kids. And I hate those situations, and I've seen those, and they're terrible. And that person's already a bad person for feeling that way. But then they go to the doctor and they get psychotropics. They get like mood altering pills. Like your Klonopins, like Xanax and things like that, and maybe like like Ativan. And what happens is like you think, you go to the doctor, and they're really easy to get, because you just got to tell him, I got to, I'm just a little sad. I'm sad. Well, I'm fucking sad too, and I ain't taking any pills. And does anybody ever ask the doctor if they take any pills? I don't know, but I don't think a doctor would take all those pills, because I think they all know, like, what that study shows. And I think it's just like, and that's kind of like what I like to call like a street study. That's something I did on my own. I made that up a little bit right now. But because we all know it. We've all seen the people, I grew up with around a lot of rough shit and a lot of real life happening. You know, there's a lot of real life happening where I grew up. A lot of real life. There's none of that Hampton stuff. You know, and so what you get into a lot of characters that are weird and crazy and shady, and you get into a lot of mothers that don't love their kids. And you get into a lot of mothers that don't want their families, and you get into a lot of fathers that don't want their families. And you get into a lot of uncles that just hate the fact that, you know, they're an uncle now. And you just have these weird things, you know, with all these people. It's because everybody's on, like, a lot of drugs, a lot of really bad drugs. And not saying I'm exempt from that, because I've done a lot of shit myself. And then, you know, that's something maybe I'm not absolutely, you know, amazed with. And I don't think, you know, anybody's, like, super proud of doing maybe some of the things that we've done. But, you know, that's just part of getting through the shit that we try to get through. But whenever, you know, you start taking these pills, you know, and they it's not that they lead to different things. It's just that, like a gateway drug. It's that they lead to like a lack of your personality. You don't even know who you are anymore. You went there to get help because you didn't know who you were. You were questioning. You know, maybe you were questioning, like, you know, your existence a little bit. Maybe you were worried about your existence a little bit. Maybe you thought maybe you shouldn't exist because you were feeling a certain way. And that's terrible, and I'm not making any fun of that. Because sometimes, you know, I get to feeling a little sad too. But you just can't take a pill, because if you take them pills like that's the only way you got to feel. You're gonna feel the way the pill makes you feel. And when you start taking the pill, your brain adapts to that chemical that's in the pill, the many chemicals. And when you take those constantly, and you know, one doesn't work, and then 4 don't work, and then, you know, before you know it, your whole bottle don't work, and then nothing's good enough, and then you move on to worse things. And maybe you don't move on to worse things, you just keep doing that. But it just dwindles your life. And I think we all know that there's some people out there that are like that we all know in our lives, that we've all seen get on those kind of like mental medications, you know, them MNMs, you know, them mental medications. And that's no real fault of the person. Maybe it's just because they're a little bit ignorant. And ignorant doesn't mean you're stupid. It means you are just uneducated. And, you know, there's a difference, because one is insulting and the other is not really, but it's kind of a back-ended kind of thing if you ask me, but I didn't mean it that way. So, you know, just people get on those things, man, and it's just, they change, and you're not yourself, and you're not who you think you're going to be. You think if you take the pill that you're going to be like you again, like the you before you were like depressed, or the you before you were sad, or the you before you were so unsure of everything, you know, the you before you were questioning your existence, you know, and maybe, you know, that doesn't ever happen, you know, so, and I just don't think those pills are a good thing. I don't think the mood altering substances are a good thing to have, like the pills, you know, because the pills scare me a lot. And pharmaceuticals, man, everybody's got to get away from the pharmaceuticals. That stuff is crazy, you know. There's natural ways to do things, man. Everybody knows, guys, there's natural ways to do things. You know, you could just, you know, there's different ways. There's healthier ways. And, yeah, man, I don't know, you know, and like I said, I think one of the most healthiest ways, and I keep saying this, I'm making a little bit of a broken record here, but it's having somebody to talk to, you know. It's having a person, and maybe that might even be a counselor for you. Maybe a counselor helps, but don't let that counselor refer you to a doctor for pills, because the pills won't help. And I think maybe you need to think about that before you go crazy, because those pills will make you really go crazy. Everything can be corrected with some love and someone showing you that they care about you, and someone willing to talk to you and be there for you, and honestly be there for you, and honestly be ready to listen to you, and not just ready to impose the way they feel, or maybe just ready for you to be done talking so they can just, you know, insert their words against you a little bit. So, yeah, just hang on to that for a little bit of food for thought, guys. And, yeah, I guess that's all I got here. I've got some stuff I got to do. So, thank you again. Stay positive. Love you all. You're amazing. Thank you for your time. This is nothing without you guys.